Hey, I'm Cyclon, and today I want to share with you my first big strategy of the league, Legion and Harbinger. And oh boy, has it been insane. Now I've been running these maps actually live on Twitch, as I'm also recording this now, and Twitch chat can confirm it to you, it has been really insane with the drops I've gotten. I have 0 magic fight on my character, and it felt like I was magic finding. Affliction is insane, Harbinger is insane, and of course Legion is insane. But okay, enough loving the mechanics. Let's talk about the strategy. So, we've been running Legion and Harbinger. The way I've been running this was with a Gilded Legion Scarab and a Polished Harbinger Scarab, as well as a Harbinger Sextant and the Legion Sextant. Now, normally you could use Polished or Gilded, but my specific recommendation for the current state in the league is to use a Gilded Legion Sextant, because it is almost half the cost, if not a little bit less. Let's check the bulk prices at the moment. That's 1 to 12 divines, and this is 1 to 21. So the Polished is double the price of the Gilded. Now, of course, we need to be strong enough to be able to run the Gilded, but the Gilded is way cheaper than the Polished, so run Gilded Legion Scarabs. As for Harbinger, there is one additional Harbinger, but the value increase in bulk is 1 to 21 for Gilded Harbinger and 1 to 48. So this one Harbinger costing you almost double the cost of a Scarab, and the Scarabs are super cheap for Harbinger. Harbinger is way too cheap. Which brings me to the question of why this specific setup instead of not Expedition. Previous league, I've been first farming Harbinger and Legion, and then moving to Legion and Expedition, which felt better. But this league, a lot of people have been running Expedition, which turns out makes the Expedition not as good. And nobody seems to be running Harbinger, which makes Harbinger pretty insane. So with this, I had my setup, and of course I need an Atlas tree for that. The Atlas tree I have is a fairly simple tree. We are focusing on Legion and Harbinger and map sustain. So we're going to block everything except Delirium Mirrors, Smuggler's Caches, and Legion. Everything else we are blocking. We then picking up, of course, our Legion chance. We're picking up our Chain of Command and Portrait Battle for having an easier Legion time and more Surgeons. We are picking up Constant Battle for, again, more Legion chance, as well as Templar Legion chance and the Maracas Legion chance. We're picking up Emblematics because emblems are finally worth something again, as well as the Legion chance on the pathing as well. Then we are going to pick up War Supplies. And we're picking up Pillage Treasures and Logistical Support. We are not picking up Face Off because we are using Gilded Legion Scarabs. For Map Sustain, we're picking up Shaping the World, Shaping the Mountains, Shaping the Skies, and the 6 small nodes in the middle to maximize our map drops. And then, very importantly, we are picking up all Harbinger nodes because we want a small chance for additional stack of currency shards, making our chances better for getting the additional fracturing shards. And we also want the additional chance for Harbingers to have more Harbingers, which means more chances for fracturing shards. And we also, this league, want the 7th gate. Legion is not on the map device normally. If you use the 7th gate as well as all 6 Eldritch Gateways on your tree, you get Legion on your map device for 6 chaos for 1 Legion. And our goal is to have as many Legions in our map as possible, meaning with this we have the Sextant, the Scarab, and the map device, meaning 3 guaranteed Legions, and then we have a good chance for a 3rd Legion. And then we have our 3 Harbingers plus 1 Harbinger from the tree, or well, almost a Harbinger, so we have 3 to 4 Harbingers and 3 to 4 Legions each map, making this a very stable strategy in terms of what we find in our maps. Then, with the rest, we are utilizing one of the Eldritch Gateway to pick up on the right side the Light of Dawn, World of Exarch, Wrath of Cosmos, as well as the small Exarch nodes. And then we're utilizing another Eldritch Gateway to have an easier pathing to the left side, Shaping the Skies and the block nodes. For our map, we choose Singular Focus, and then you're going to need, I'm using 8 spots for my map I'm running and 1 spot for an adjacent map. The map of my choice for the second half has been Burial Chambers. At first I ran Dunes, and then I tried to out Burial Chambers, and I have to say the Legion spawns on barrier chambers are as good as dunes. Sometimes they're slightly worse, but most of the time it's going to be very similar. The map is slightly longer, it's not that, it's slightly more annoying to run, but we do have the chance for getting that doctor in there, and I think that makes it worse enough. It's the exact same as we had with cemetery before, running cemeteries for the chance for the brother's stash and then later brother's gift. So barrier chamber seems to be the very best map for this league, at least at this point of the league. And then we have one saving for an adjacent node. In case for barrier chamber, I recommend Wharf or where is it? Wharf or Carcass. I went with Wharf as it is a slightly better map in my opinion. If you're going with dunes, you want the adjacent map to be Glacier. Glacier is the best adjacent map for dunes. Now, with those informations, let's finally take a look at my results. I wanted to make an update on my spreadsheet, however the data on the spreadsheet isn't working quite yet, so we will have to delay that. Instead, I'm going to show it you in-game, and I have sorted out everything that I don't think will sell. All the small currency, everything that I don't intend to sell or won't be selling, I took out. All the sales I did get are ready for fractured items or div cards that was about 30 chaos are already listed here. Those are my big trades. So you can make your own estimation about what if my lucky drops were reasonable or weren't reasonable. By the way, I got no doctor dropped, but I gotten, what is this? 19, 29, I can count, 24, 33, the fortunates. This means that is a 1 in 3. Yeah, 33 is a fortunate, which means it's a 1 in 3 chance to get a fortunate in a map. So every 3 maps we got a fortunate. Then I've gotten one lucky drop, which I haven't sold yet, which is Icy Brothers, which is basically a fracturing orb. I've gotten 4 Valdos puzzle boxes and 3 Voidborn reliquary keys. But as usual, I refuse to see them as currency. I just opened them and they were all garbage. 3 uniques that were not really usable, and Rim Sorrow, Cold Iron Point, Ventor's Gamble, and Storm Shroud. And I'm not going to risk my build for Storm Shroud or Ventor's Gamble. I'm not going to be trying to go into the void for that. We have also got a lot of Forbidden Tomes which are currently rising, so I'm showing them here as they have value. And they could sell them, but I will not selling them quite yet because I think the value will increase in price. We got 2 more fractured bases that I don't intend to sell as I might be using them. Aventor's Gamble, which are usually 3 to 1. Then we do have a few small items and a few potentially bigger items that haven't sold yet, so I won't be including any of these in my calculations. But overall, the lucky drops, the fractured drops, the unique drops, the div card drops have been pretty good to me. This means that we've almost gotten 6 divines from Fortunates, which is according to my usual data, and this is not using any divination scarab, so this is really, really good. And now we get to the currency, and here it gets insane. I've gotten 1 full fracturing orb, dropped in shards. This is not a full drop, I've gotten 21 shards dropped. I've gotten 61 ancient orbs dropped, 85 orbs of annulment, 24 exalted orbs, and 19 raw divine orbs. This means this is almost 1 divine in 5 maps. Now these divines have been spread out between random drops, Legion chest and incubators, or Legion enemy drops. So this is a mix of Legion giving us divines and random things in the map giving us divines. But definitely what I can say from how it felt, from how it looked, when I got most of these divines when Affliction was choosing my map. So Affliction plus Legion equal divines. It's super good. But yeah, we also got a lot of other currency that I think I can sell for half a divine to a divine. So we will be doing that when we get to the liquidation. The big drops I've gotten 1 fractured Convoking Wand with T2 minion damage, which I tried to get rid of quickly. I could have maybe gotten more from it, but I got 11 divines. I've gotten a pretty good rolled Ralakesh Impatience for 4 divines. I've gotten a Hyris Ire, the body armor, for 2.5 divines, which at that point was a little bit more than 160 chaos. And then I've gotten a few div cards or smaller fractured items which sold for anywhere between 30 and 130 chaos. And now we get to the last part, which is of course how good is the Legion sustain. I already here again taken out everything, but I still have the timeless emblems in here, meaning this is 62, almost 62 full sets. I've traded in one Maracas I had extra for one Templar I had less, and I traded in the Karui I had extra for a Turtle which I had less. So it's averaging 62. Could have gotten a few more, could have gotten a few less, but I'm pretty happy with these amount of 5-way emblems in 100 maps. Now if we take a look at PoE stack and let it assume the current value of the stash. It's fetching, it's loading. We are looking, after I take, like I said, after I taken out all the extra stuff, at 130 divines. Now, if we taking a look at what I paid for it, I have paid 8 chaos for my Gilded Legion scarabs. So this is 800. Then I've paid 2 chaos for my polished Harbinger scarabs. That's 200. Then I have paid 40 chaos for my 25 Legion Sextants each. Means this is what, 4 times 25. This should be another 1,000, right? Let's open another calculator. 25 times 40, yeah, another 1,000. So I was correct. Plus another 1,000. And then finally I paid a whopping 6 chaos for the Harbinger Sextant. Meaning that is, I need to again to guess. Brain's not working anymore. 150 chaos. Finally, I have paid Map Device Legion, which is 600 chaos for 100 maps, bringing me to a total of 2,750 chaos cost. Now, if we take those 2,750, and let's, at that point it was, when I bought the supply, a divine was 140 chaos. Right now it seems to be 170, so let's take the current divine ratio, because now we're comparing it to our profit. Meaning this has cost me 16 divines in cost. Now if we take our 60 divines and compare it to our gain, we are looking at more than 100 divines profit for 100 maps. For a strategy that has 0 quantities, where we chisel out our maps for anything is runnable, and just run Affliction and Legion, that is absurd gains. 130 divines gains, meaning 114 divines profit. Now of course we need to keep in mind that I did take quite some time for my maps. So if we have our 114 divines profit, and we consider that I took an average of 8 minutes a map, this means we taken, what is it? Wait. 8 minutes an hour. This is 7.5 maps an hour, meaning it took us how many hours to do 100? It took us 13 hours to run everything. So this is our 114 divided by 13, meaning this is an 8.7 divines per hour strategy. Now, of course, if I would have run faster, it would have been a lot more. If I would run slower, it would have been a lot less. But overall, this is a very stable and very profitable strategy. If you build a stronger, like, I'm still rocking a day 2 bow. I'm still rocking a day 2 quiver, helmet, rings, gloves, boots, and amulet. The body armor I upgraded once on day 3. The only thing I upgraded after day 3, I've gotten a headhunter, which of course it does help a lot with the league mechanic and the juiced up enemies. I gotten a taste of hate, and I gotten jewels. That's all I upgraded. So if your build is the strongest mine or stronger than mine, you're gonna have an absolute blast in these maps, running them faster, running them quicker, running them easier, and you're gonna be making a lot more than me likely. But overall, I'm very happy with how the strategy turned out. It was a great choice for my strategy to stack up my currency pool after I bought the headhunter, and I can definitely recommend this. So, with that being said, if you have any questions, if anything is unclear, as always, when I'm streaming on Twitch, come say hello live. ask your questions there. When I'm not streaming, ask in the comment section, ask on Discord, ask via DMs on Discord or the designated channel. Really, just take any way to communicate with me that you prefer. Ask me and I will try to answer as quick as possible. With that being said, have a wonderful day and I will see you either live on Twitch or in my next video. Goodbye.